I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons to play niche sports on DraftKings and FanDuel. We're starting right now. What's up, guys? Joe Holka here. Welcome to another daily fantasy sports and betting video. If this is your first time here and you want to become a profitable DraftKings player and get better at betting, start now by subscribing to the channel, but make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss anything along the way. If you're already a Holkamaniac, you know what to do. Smash that like button and we'll get rolling. So on my channel, we've already talked about a bunch of niche sports that we can play for DFS. We talked about esports. We even dove into a little bit of NASCAR and WNBA. And a lot of people have been kind of laughing, like, why would we do some strategy type courses on these sports? And the reality is a lot of these sports, there's a huge edge and a lot of people don't even realize it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 5 top reasons that people should be playing niche sports on DraftKings and FanDuel. And the first reason is that you really need to try and find your own path. Just because you're not playing some of these mainstream sports, or maybe you're just playing some niche sports in addition to maybe fantasy football or maybe diving into some NBA. It's just another kind of tool in your arsenal in order to have a higher ROI and become a profitable player. And by the way, like we attack quite a bit of like niche stuff in our Discord in general, but just because it's not as popular doesn't mean you can't play it. It can still be fun. Like, so I play a ton of NHL Showdown now because I think that there's a big edge and it's a lot of fun for me. So like, I don't have to be playing NBA Classic just so that people are going to pat me on the shoulder and be like, hey man, good job for playing NBA Classic.
Exactly.
Like, I don't really care. So
exactly. Everybody's got to find their own path because these are competitive games that are really difficult to win at. And obviously the priority should always be having fun. That should be the priority for most people that are playing these games because few people out there are going to be able to be professionals. But if you're trying to, generate a good ROI, you need to figure out where your strengths are.
By the way, guys, if you've ever found value in any of my videos or live streams, one of the best ways to support what I'm doing here for free is to throw me the follow over on Twitter. But if you're new to the community, you might not know that I do a ton of content over on Instagram that only is on Instagram. So make sure you give me the follow over there as well. I'd really appreciate it. The second reason to play niche sports on DraftKings and FanDuel might not even be a different sport, but if you're able to be new on a new format such as Showdown last year or even Tiers the year before, there's a pretty big edge until some of the regulars figure things out.
Yeah, so I started soccer DFS as soon as it came up. I was one of the high volume guys right in the lobby. I got into soccer about 7 or 8 years ago. Actually, one of the DFS regulars, Pew Pew Pew, he got me interested in the EPL about maybe a decade ago, maybe a little more recent than that. And then I actually brought him to DFS. But so I had been playing DFS already. And then when they brought soccer in, generally when a new sport comes in, if it can be big enough, people generally aren't great to start. So the adjustment period is the best time to start. And if you can figure out things before everyone else, it really helps. And especially with Showdown, that's what happened last summer. You're able to pick up on things before other people do, and it puts you at a massive advantage.
The third reason to play niche sports on DraftKings is FanDuel is because the lobby is incredibly soft. A lot of new players to take advantage of. You had me right away, man. You were like, why should I care? And that was like one of the first things too for me. It's like, why should people play? There's a difference between playing niche sports. We talk a lot about niche stuff on this channel. That's the whole reason we're doing this niche sport week. But why should people kind of start getting a little bit more into LOL?
Yeah, it really is probably one of the softest, if not the softest area that you can go to. The way that you construct rosters in League of Legends DFS is something that's not naturally intuitive the way some of the other sports are. If someone comes from basketball or football and just tries out the league, they will misconstruct their rosters very badly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value. I've gotten joined. The highest stakes heads ups that they allow are $500, and I've gotten joined in those a ton of times by people that had no chance of winning before it even started. Like, even if they ran good, they couldn't win because their rosters just no good.
It sounds like preseason NFL. Like 2 years ago, you would open up like 215s, your head-to-heads, and they would just be like all these starters that weren't even going to play. So I mean, just the edge alone on roster construction has to be great. Someone that actually really understands the game like you do. Always want to take a second to remind you that if you're looking to take your game to that next level and you want To take advantage of something that might be a little bit more personal than just a YouTube video, I do offer one-on-one coaching. So check out joeholka.com/coaching if you want a little bit more information on that. Actually going to be rolling out some group coaching sessions that I'm really pumped about for NFL. So keep an eye out for that. But if you prefer to just continue to learn in a group setting, that's totally fine. But actually, a lot of people probably don't realize that if you have an Amazon Prime account, and a lot of people do these days, you automatically have access to a free Twitch Prime subscription. So with that, you get access to my premium Discord chat, as well as a bunch of other subscriber-only perks. And regardless, you're definitely doing yourself a disservice if you're not taking advantage of those live streams over on Twitch. So definitely throw me the follow over at twitch.tv/JoeHolka so you don't miss anything. The fourth reason to play niche sports on DraftKings and FanDuel is to just get over your ego. It's one of the things that I really struggled with in the beginning. I wanted to play against some of the top players. I really wanted people to realize that I was playing some of these really popular sports. But when you get over that and you really just focus on making money, which is why a lot of us are here, you can see a huge increase in your ROI. I think we have this in common, Jeff. Like we kind of both, I think, really like the competition aspect of DFS. It's a really big thing for me as well. Like I honestly kind of struggle with it a little bit too, just because I played college hockey, played minor pro hockey. So like I kind of miss that like competition aspect now that I'm not playing anymore. So like in the beginning of my DFS career, I was like, I really wanted to like play against some of the best players because I wanted to prove to myself that I could beat them. Where do you think the balance is between kind of playing at some of the higher stake stuff against what are typically the best players, I guess, end quote, and kind of finding games with new players to try and accomplish kind of a higher ROI and really game select those three-mans like you were talking about before?
It is an interesting balance because I'm super, super competitive. Some might say overly competitive, too competitive. And like that is one of the main draws for me with the live finals and everything. Is just, all right, well, I think I'm the best. I'm gonna prove to everyone I'm the best, and this is how to do it. Like this is the best way to be recognized that you are the best. And when you do that, like part of you is like wants to win, so let's get a weak field in there. And the other part, like the super competitive part, which mainly controls me, is going, all right, get E. Hafner in there, get Jester in there, get Utical, get all these guys, and I want to beat those guys. Because I don't want anyone to take anything away from my win if I win. Like, I don't want them to say, oh, well, you beat a weak field. I want to beat all the best guys. And that's what happened with the MLB finals. It was a super strong field, and it was a lot of guys that I look up to that I got to talk to a bit because it was a long sweat for me. I was in first place for like an hour and a half or something. Yeah. So a lot of people were coming up talking to me, E. Hafner, McJester and stuff. And that was the coolest thing to me is like, all right, these are the guys I really want to beat. And they're up here talking to me and telling me how great my lineup was and stuff. And how they're jealous that they didn't make the same decision. That's that sort of thing. It's just awesome. But then with the other stuff you don't get as much recognition, of course, you're looking for weak opponents, right? Head-to-heads. I would love if a bunch of new people took my head-to-heads, like that. I'm just trying to make money. I think that these tournaments too, like these qualifiers with the super weak fields, like the end result, like you're trying to make money, so you need to find ways to do that.
Speaking of reasons why you might be here, the fifth and final reason why you should be playing niche sports on DraftKings and FanDuel is that over the long term, you should be able to get enough volume down to actually make a living at this. I know a couple people that do, and Sean is just one of them. There's just so many people out there that feel like they have to play like NBA Classic. They have to play like some of like the MLB stuff out there, some of the bigger sports. But a lot of times, like, I mean, you're a perfect example of someone that can make a living just playing some of these less popular games. So if you want to dive deeper into some of these niche sports, truly carve out your own path and become a profitable daily fantasy sports player, you definitely want to hit that subscribe icon in the bottom right-hand corner so you don't miss any of the courses that I have coming up. I have a ton of courses that are already live, including some niche sports as well, so definitely check out those on demand here on YouTube. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.